Hello there everybody, it's Rachel from Sage. I know I haven't done a video in quite a while, have I? I've been away, I've been overseas. My husband and I went to Europe for our 20th wedding anniversary, so that was wonderful and I've had an amazing time, as you would imagine. And now I'm back home and it's cold and dark. So what you've all been living through, no doubt, as well. We've gone from, almost 24 hours of sunlight every day back to Australian winter. So yes, it's been a bit of a shock to the system, to say the least, but here we are. And I'm wearing a full face of makeup for the first time in weeks and weeks. So actually that's kind of fun because I haven't done an eyeshadow look, haven't done an eye look really at all for weeks. And I certainly haven't done blush and concealer and stuff like that. It's been very bare bones, and I'm just about to show you what is left in my travel makeup kit and some things that I've left behind. Basically, I used them up, so that's why they got left behind. So let's just see what's left over in the little makeup bag that I took with me. This is the third one of these that I've used. It's wonderful, the Revlon Photo Ready BB cream. It has an SPF in it as well. For me, it's more of a tan shade, so that kind of suited the fact that we were going into summer, and it matched in with a self tanner that I used whilst I was there, the Bondi Sands drops that you add to your moisturizer, body moisturizer. I didn't even use this. I was planning to finish it and leave it over there, but I didn't even use it, so it's come home with me and I will finish it off in the next few weeks, I expect. I even left a brush over there. I had a, what brand is it? Let me just see, because I've got a sister one of it here. LA Style, LA Colors. Dual-ended blush and blush and bronzer brush with a setting powder brush, and it was kind of the hairs on it were not the same length, and so it was a bit patchy in the application. It didn't matter what I used either, so I thought, is it my application? And in fact I realized that it was actually that the brushes were not, the bristles were not level, and so it made the application patchy. So I decided to take it, and then I thought, well, I don't really love it, so it didn't come home with me. The foundation that I took, that I wore twice, maybe 3 times while we were away, was the NYX Blur foundation, which I must admit, when I tried it some months back, I wasn't 100% in love with. But because I had a self-tan on, and because it was warmer over there, the natural matte finish of it was great, because then I didn't have to set it. It's a self-setting foundation, and it does blur, and it did look quite nice on my skin as much after I'd moisturized well, of course. So that was the foundation that I took with me, and you can see why, because it's such a good packaging for travel. So if you tend to have combo skin, that one's a really good one for every day. But for me, I needed, I can't use it in the winter. My skin's just way too dry, dehydrated for that. Now this one I intended to leave over there, the LA Girl Shady Slim Brow Pencil. I thought I'd finish it whilst I was there. The spoolie covers, who knows where that is. It's a very fine tip. I really like the shade, but you can see I've got heaps to go. So I thought, well, I actually really like it, and it is a good shade for me. So I brought it home, and I mean, I have so many eyebrow pencils, it's really not funny, but if you like something, and I don't like not finishing something. I like to finish it if I can, and not just get rid of it willy-nilly, because that's wasteful in lots of ways, isn't it? So I've brought that home, and obviously I'll need to put it somewhere upright so that it stays clean. I did take a few brushes. I took an old MCO Beauty brush. You can see it hardly got used at all. I took one of my favourite fluffy brushes from BH. I took another spoolie for some reason. A couple of micro sponges, which I hardly used actually. They did get cleaned in the, with the hotel shampoo whilst I was there. So what else is in there? Oh yes, I thought I'd finished this when I was over there, but I haven't quite, and I know it's really manky looking, but it is a very good brow gel, I've decided. It's the Ardell, the label's worn off. It's the Ardell brow gel, which is clear. Well, it was clear. I haven't taken the stopper out of it yet, so there's still a fair ways to go, and it is quite a nice brow gel that you can build up to a really firm hold if you want to, but first application is a natural fluffy hold. Something that I took with me, I took a couple of single shadows. My love of L'Oreal Mono Matte shadows is, well known. This is the colour that I took with me, this mid-tone to warm tone brown, which I love and is so easy to blend. And then for a shimmer shade, I took this beautiful one. It's actually popping out of its container there. So beautiful and so easy to blend, and isn't overly shiny. It goes on, you can build it, is what I'm trying to say. I'm just going to retrieve whatever it was that I dropped. Give me a second. Okay, product retrieve. Let's hope it's not broken. Now this, you can see why I took this. It's so tiny and it weighs nothing. It's the Essence Holo powder in Cotton Candy 02. And look at this, tiny. So it's got a proper lid, but it's a shadow come highlighter. You can put it over the top of your lipstick too, I suppose. I used it up here as a brow highlighter. I used it as a shadow, an inner corner highlight one night, and I definitely used it as a highlight here, and I'm just going to show you that now with a highlighter brush. So it does have a shift. It should go over my blush that I'm wearing quite well, I think, and match my eyeshadow. I bought this from Cosmetic Capital. I think it was like $3.95, and I really love it. It's just that, I mean, you can build it up, but I don't really want to emphasize the texture there too much more. But it is a nice natural, the way I've put it on there, it's a nice natural glow. You can see that's given it some sheen there. And I also tend to put it a little bit here. And I'll put some under the brow bone there as well. So a few nights that we went out, I just did that basically with the foundation and some mascara. The mascara I didn't bring home because it was almost finished anyway. And I'm going to insert some photos of those products. So the Essence Not Another Volume mascara, which I love and I've gone through several of. I was just about finished it anyway, and so I took it away because I thought, well, then I'll just throw that out because it was fairly old, because you're not supposed to keep mascaras for too long anyway. So that is, this one does come in a couple of shades, but a really great multi-use, very travel friendly tiny and very reasonably priced product, I have to say. Now that's all that's left in my makeup kit. So I told you about the mascara that I threw out. I also left behind the Essence Mosaic Compact Powder, which I only bought a few months ago, and I used in that full face of Essence video. If you want to check that out, go through the list of videos and you'll see it there. I really liked that powder, don't get me wrong. There was nothing actually wrong with it at all, except once I'd started to hit pan, the pan just appeared bigger and bigger each day. And the powder, the bit of the powder that I used most, the setting powder, so just the plain translucent powder in it, started to like disappear. It was the first to go. And the bronzer, which was the only two bits of it, really ended up being on the rim of the pan. And so it was kind of hard to get. And so there was very little bronzer left and virtually no translucent powder. The only thing that seemed to, and what seemed to appear as I got lower in the pan, was a lot of glitter. So the glitter section that was sort of, you know, located in 1/3 of the pan to start with, seemed to be far more prevalent and was in the bottom of the pan a lot more so. So that obviously happened when they pressed it. The glitter, being the heaviest part, went to the bottom, and it sort of undermined the other powders that were above, that were set above. Look, it was really nice. It was a really easy all over the face, go out the door and be done sort of product. But once I started to hit that glitter, I found that I had a lot of glitter under my eyes, and that's not really my preference. I didn't mind it being on my cheeks so much, but under the eyes it looked a bit weird. So I actually, the pan size is about that, and I would have used probably that much of it. So I used about 2/3 of the whole thing anyway, and then the lid broke. That was the other thing. So I couldn't really bring it home anyway, because it would have just shattered and made a mess in my bag. So I had to throw that out. But, you know, at the price that it was, I think they're $8. I used most of it. I did. And I didn't expect it to break. I didn't expect the glitter to start appearing. And if it had all stayed intact, I certainly would have brought it home and kept using it, but it didn't. And so there was no practical reason to do so. I went through a whole tube of Natio Ageless SPF 30 Plus because I used it as my face moisturizer every day. And also, in some of the places we stayed, there wasn't any body lotion. So I used it as my body lotion, certainly for every day that we were at the cricket. And then I put on another SPF as well. And over the top of that, I put the BB cream, the Revlon BB cream, on my face and down my neck also. And wear a hat and sunscreen and glasses as well, because I'm very prone to sunburn. Even in England, where it's not that hot, it was still very sunny. So I needed to protect my skin as much as I could. Oh yes, the Mud lipstick, MUD, makeup design from Woolies. I did a full face of Mud makeup about a month ago, I guess it was. And you can see that video too. It'd be listed there below. But I love it. I loved the colour especially. And I was in the middle of actually applying it one day, and the top, like this big chunk of it, just top fell off into the basin in the hotel bathroom. So that was that. And then when I went to use like what was left, there really wasn't much left, and I was quite shocked at how little product there was in the tube. But then I thought, well, I did pay like $4.95, so what did I really expect? I was disappointed because I really loved it and I loved the colour. I will get another one, but word of caution, don't travel with it, don't leave it in the sun. The formula is very, very creamy, and whilst that's lovely and moisturising and good for your lips, it really doesn't have a long lifespan, I don't think. So that was unfortunately got broken, and I had to leave it behind. Well, it basically broke off, and that was that. So I tried to use what was left, and it was a bit sort of messy with the plastic component, so I had to throw it out as well. Hang on, I've forgotten something. I know, I forgot the Moira eyeliner. So I also did a full face of Moira some months ago. Big fan of Moira. And I did love the eyeliner, and that's why I took it with me, because I knew that it would work for me, because it's very quick and very black and easy to use, and you know my love of eyeliner is deep. Anyway, I love the eyeliner, but what started to happen was it started to leak, and I wondered if that was because of air, like being up in the aircraft, and maybe it had an effect on the product, because we were in and out of planes and trains and so forth as we traveled around, and the pen started to leak quite badly, not at the tip but at the base. So I wasn't rough with it or anything like that. I didn't drop it. It was just that it was, I think, affected by the travel, and so it was starting to dry out because it was leaking. And when I'd take the lid off to use it, I'd get it all over my hands, and then it was just getting too messy to use. And whilst there was probably still a bit of product left in it, it was starting to be a bit draggy on the eyelids as I used it. But nonetheless, it's a good product, and if I hadn't travelled with it, I would have gone and bought one. So it was good that I got through most of the trip with that. So yeah, that is actually it now. I'm forgetful. So forgetful. Anyway, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you're staying warm wherever you are. And if you are traveling, I hope these little hints help you. I probably won't take a liquid eyeliner again when I go on long plane rides. I will most likely take a pencil. And, if you've got things that are sort of half done, half used up, and you like them, but you won't miss them terribly if they don't come home with you, then maybe take them on that trip, on your next trip, because then you can use them up and then you can start fresh when you come home. Or you can buy really nice stuff like I did over there and bring it back with you. Okay then, have a great one. Bye-bye.